Oh, thank you guys. You're much too kind. Much too kind. And welcome to Just for Clicks. My name is Michael Buckeister. I'm the king of the puns, the king of the jokes, king of the sound effects, the king of all kings. On today's show, the NFL regular season is finally over. Playoff picture has come in fruition. We're going to talk about that. We're going to pick our Super Bowl winner. We're going to, obviously pick some NBA games, pick some those college football bowl games that are happening today, starting at 1 o'clock today. And we might even pitch some amateur hardwood games. All that much more right after the intro.
Acting like you never see my face and I ain't got loose. They know I'm cash image and I'm with Tech 9. And for the club close, the owner gon' respect mine. We spend a lot of money and that's the bottom line. 10 cars on chrome plus the next shine. G's on and J's with a lot of bucks. And you ain't gotta know me, you can tell my dollars up. Popping collars in the club, turning bottles up. And all the models in the club wanna follow us.
And welcome back to the show, guys. I am Michael Buckeister, but you know who that is, and this is Just for Clicks. So last night, the 2018 regular NFL season came to an end in a very exciting Colts-Titans game in a rainy Nashville. Colts ended up coming up on top of that to get that final playoff game, or playoff spot, I should say. So, recapping this season, it was a very exciting season. To start the season, you had the Chiefs, Rams, Saints just running away with everything, blowing people out. They were both 7-0 or 6-0 to start the season. And then the season started to come together. People started beating teams. Cowboys beat the Saints. Rams beat the Chiefs. And then the Chargers started coming along. They finished 11-4 or 12-4 or something like that. Colts won 10 of their last 11. The Texans were chugging right along all season. Cowboys were the Cowboys. They were 10-5 to finish the season. I'm kind of questioning their decisions to play that last game against the Giants, but you know what? You beat a division foe, and what better feeling is that? There is no better feeling. But the playoffs are now set, guys. So, looking at the AFC playoffs right now, you have the Colts versus the Texans, and then you have the Chargers versus the Ravens. Both very intriguing games. You got the Chargers that if they were in the NFC, they would be a number 2 overall seed, possibly even a top seed. Just so them being a 5 seed, you bet your damn dollar I'm betting on them. Give me the Chargers in that game 100%. I think Phillip Rivers is going to go into Baltimore, Maryland, that cross-country flight. That's the only thing that might concern me, though. Looking at this time, it is a 1 o'clock start time, guys. 1 o'clock start time. So that is what? Be 9 or 10 o'clock on the East Coast. 10 o'clock on the West Coast. So that cross-country flight might be a little hassle for them. But you know what? It doesn't matter. I'm still picking the Chargers to beat the Ravens in that one. And then they will advance to face the probably the next highest seed, depending on who I pick the next game. With that being said, guys, the next wild card game in the AFC, you have the Colts versus the Texans. They play Saturday afternoon. Like I said, the Colts have won 10 of their last 11. Texans, they started out hot. They started 3-0, 4-0, and then they kind of struggled there they started 0-3. If I'm not mistaken. I don't know. Either way, they started on one way or the other. I should have checked that before I started stalking. But it doesn't matter because the Colts are going to beat their division foe. They're going to beat the Texans, and they are going to beat them nicely. Colts are peaking at the right time. The only thing that scares me is, did they peak too soon? Did they get on that tear a little too early? Maybe, maybe not. Who really cares? Because they're still going to beat the Texans. Okay, guys? So I had the Chargers 5 seed and the Colts 6 seed advancing to the divisional round. With that being said, the Colts will play the Chiefs in my bracket that next Saturday, and the Chargers will play the Patriots. Very, very good games. The Colts scare me, guys. For a team that I did not want in the playoffs, it's got to be the Colts. I did not want the Colts in the playoffs, and I did not want the Eagles in the playoffs. These are both very, very dangerous teams. With all that being said, I still think the Chiefs come out on top. Something about Arrowhead in a division round game. That place is going to be rocking. 4:30 on a Saturday. Fans are going to be lit, be barbecuing all day, tailgating, being loud, being the loudest nation in America. Give me the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Colts on that one. Next up, you have the Chargers versus the Patriots. You know what? People have been kind of downplaying the Patriots all year. I've been kind of downplaying the Patriots all year as well. But did you guys know this is their 8th year in a row they've gotten a first-round bye in the playoffs? Sorry, 9th year in a row. And if they win this game, it'll be the 8th year in a row they've made it to the AFC Championship game. But all that doesn't matter. Because the Los Angeles Chargers are for real, guys. They're going to beat the Patriots. They're going to go into Foxborough and beat the Patriots. Causing an AFC West, AFC Championship game. The Kansas City Chiefs versus the Los Angeles Chargers. And you know I got to go with my boys. You know I got to pick the Chiefs. Chiefs, 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 Chiefs. Moving over to the NFC side, guys, you have the Seattle Seahawks 5 seed taking on the 4 seed Dallas Cowboys. This is a 8:15 Saturday kickoff. And most of you don't know this, but the Dallas Cowboys are my NFC team that I root for. And, of course, I got to pick them to pick the Seahawks. Yes, the Seahawks beat them earlier in an ugly game, the most hardest game I've had to watch all season. But the Cowboys win this game. And I think they make a statement. I don't know how. I don't know if it's going to be Zeke or Amari Cooper. But somehow they make a statement. They make a statement. Moving on to the next wild card game, you have the sneaky number 6 seed Philadelphia Eagles taking on the 3 seed, the Chicago Bears. Were you listening to me last segment? Were you guys listening to me last segment? You did not want to let the Philadelphia Eagles into the playoffs. They're going to upset the Bears. They're going to go into Soldier Field, into that windy, rainy, cold, nasty Soldier Field in Chicago, Illinois, and they're going to come out victorious. Nick Foles is going to have a great game. Nick Foles just knows how to win with this Eagles team. For some, I don't know if he has God on his side. I don't know if he has Ula on his side or Bubba, the drug dealer at the semi-truck parking lot, the lizard lot. It doesn't matter. He knows how to play with this Eagles team, and he knows how to win. That's why they're going to go into Soldier Field, and they're going to beat the Bears. So that gives me a Saints-Eagles matchup and a Rams-Cowboys matchup. This is where it gets fun, guys. Dallas Cowboys playing the Los Angeles Rams. LA Rams, San Diego Rams, St. Louis Rams, the Rams. It doesn't really matter. But I think the Cowboys upset the Rams. They go into the Rose Bowl or wherever they're playing, the Coliseum, and they beat the Rams. Dallas Cowboys make it to the NFC Championship game to play none other than the Saints. Yes, the Eagles are a very dangerous team. Watch out for them. Watch out for the Eagles. But I just don't think they have the firepower to beat the Saints. Giving us the matchup of the Dallas Cowboys versus the New Orleans Saints in the NFC Championship game. Dallas Cowboys had the Saints number previous this year. Cowboys played out of their minds that game. I don't think they can duplicate it. The Saints are on a mission, guys. They've been on a mission since week 3. Drew Brees is an MVP caliber. If Patrick Mahomes didn't throw for 50 touchdowns, 5,000 yards this season, he would definitely be the MVP. No questions asked. So that's why I'm picking the Saints to make it to the Super Bowl. So, my Super Bowls picks are the Kansas City Chiefs versus the New Orleans Saints. I will not pick the winner yet, but I'm pretty sure those of you that listen know who I'm going to pick. But we'll save that till after the first round of the playoffs. So I do have the Kansas City Chiefs playing the Saints. Joke's on you. Both of my picks will still be alive after the first week. So It's a win-win. All right, guys. So, like I said, the NFL season is wrapped up now. The regular season, I should say, there are 12 teams that are playing on, 20 teams that are getting ready for the draft or finding new coaches. I believe this is called Black Monday for the NFL world. There's already been what, the Jets fired their coach, the Broncos fired their coach, the Bills fired their coach, Miami fired their coach. There's already 4 coaches that have been fired. I haven't checked the news since then, but I know the Arizona coach was on the hot seat. Cincinnati's, he's always on the hot seat. I don't know how he's still there, honestly. So we have a potential of 6 coaches losing their jobs in the next few hours. So, I mean, as I hate, I don't want anybody to get fired, but it's that time of year. Just 4 clicks. All right, guys. So it is New Year's Eve, and we're going over to the association to pick some games. There are a lot of games happening tonight. You have the Hawks versus Pacers, Magic versus Hornets, Grizzlies versus Rockets, Celtics, Spurs, Timberwolves, Pelicans, Mavericks, Thunder, Warriors, Suns. Normally, I go into in-depth and why I pick a lot of these teams, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games tonight. So we're just going to do a quick pick 'em, with the over-unders, and we'll go from there. So the first one up, we do have the Atlanta Hawks, 11-24 on the season, taking on 24-12 Indiana Pacers team. Indiana is favored by 12 in this game, so I am picking the Pacers to win this game, but they do not cover that spread. That is a lot of points to beat an NBA team by. Usually a blowout in the NBA is 6 to 8 points. Being a 12-point spread like that, that makes me scary. So I'm picking the Pacers to win outright, but Hawks win, cover the spread. Orlando Magic, 16-19 on the season, taking on a 17-18 Charlotte Hornet team. Charlotte was favored by 7.5 points today. I'm picking the Hornets, and I'm picking them to cover. Magic is just not very good, guys. They're just, I don't know. They're not very good. Next up, you have the Grizzlies taking on the Houston Rockets. Grizzlies are 18-17 on the season. Rockets are 20-15. I'm picking the Rockets. 5-point spread. They cover the spread too. Houston is hot, guys. Hot. You put them on the stove and put some water on top of them. That stuff is going to boil in a minute. They hot. Next up, you have the Boston Celtics, 21-14 on the season, playing the San Antonio Spurs, 20-17 on the season. It has an even spread, no point spread. Pacers are at home, the Spurs are at home. That's why I'm picking the Spurs. Celtics really haven't proved a lot to me this season. That's why I'm picking the Spurs, and they've come on late. They come on hot late, just like the Houston. They started out nasty. I don't know what 4, 5 wins. They're starting to rattle them off. Timberwolves 17-19 on the season, playing a 16-21 New Orleans Pelicans. Pelicans are favored by 5.5 points tonight. Ooh, this is a tough game for me to pick. Pelicans did play two nights ago. Timberwolves played last night. Traveled to Miami, now traveling to New Orleans. That's why I'm picking the Pelicans. It's hard to play back-to-back nights, especially 2 back-to-night road games. Pelicans. Next up, you have the Dallas Mavericks, 17-18 on the season, taking on Oklahoma City Thunder team, 22-13. Thunder is favored by 8 points tonight. I am picking the upset. You heard right. I am picking the upset. Mavericks are 2-15 on the season, like away from home. Make that 3-15 tonight. The Mavericks win tonight. Upset alert. Upset alert. Last up, you have the Golden State Warriors, 24-13 on the season, playing a Phoenix Suns team that's 9-28. Golden State is favored by 11 on the road. That is a lot for a team on the road. Picking Golden State to win outright. Suns are horrible. They're out of the playoff pictures. They're packing up for next year. But Warriors do not cover. I don't see any team losing by more than 10 points at home. That's just ridiculous. Just 4 clicks. All right, guys, moving on to the bowl season. The worst time of year. Actually, the bowl season fired up. Once the playoff season, these games are pretty not very good. Let's be honest. These are kind of cover-up games where they kind of shuffle them in to basically get you to try to watch because there's nothing else to watch on New Year's Eve at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. You have Cincinnati Bearcats 10-2 on the season playing a 6-6 Virginia Tech team. I'm picking Cincinnati. You guys have heard me say this before. I don't think any team that's 6-6 should have a right to play in a bowl game. Jack that up to 8 wins, set 7. But come on, 6-6, they can have a losing season and play in a postseason game. That's just utterly ridiculous. Next up, you have the Sun Bowl. You have the Stanford Cardinals taking on the Pittsburgh Panthers. Stanford is 8-4 on the season. Pitt is 7-6. Stanford is favored by 3.5 points. Stanford is on a roll. They've won 3 of their last 5, but so has Pittsburgh. But Pittsburgh lost to Miami, lost to Clemson their last 2. Stanford's rolling high on this one. That's why I'm picking Stanford. I just don't think Pittsburgh has enough firepower in this one. So give me the Cards to at least cover. So 7. Next up, you have the Red Box Bowl. Cool. Michigan State 7-5 on the season. Oregon Ducks 8-4. Oregon is favored by 1.5. I'm going to go with Oregon Ducks. I've always kind of had a special heart for Oregon. I don't know why, but Michigan State they've been kind of struggling to put points on the board the last 3 games. They scored 6 points against Ohio State, scored 6 points against Nebraska, 14 points against Rutgers. A horrible Rutgers team. So hopefully they come out and score a couple touchdowns, make it interesting, because Ducks are averaging 40-plus points a game. But give me Oregon Ducks on this one. Next up, you have the Liberty Bowl. A little bit more exciting. Old Big 12 foes, ranked number 23 in the nation. Missouri Tigers 8-4 on the season, taking on Oklahoma State Cowboys 6-6 on the season. They don't deserve to be there because they're 6-6, but it should be an exciting game. Missouri is favored by 9 points. Missouri has won 4 games in a row. Oklahoma State's lost 3 games in a row, but those losses coming to number 6 Oklahoma. Sorry, they beat number 6 Texas, beat number 9 West Virginia, but then they lost to TCU. So up and down. Who's going to show up? Nobody knows. But Missouri Tigers win. They definitely cover. No, they don't cover. It's a 7-point game. Oklahoma State gets the spread, but Missouri wins outright. Sound effects are good. Alrighty, guys. A couple more games here. We have San Diego County Credit Union Holiday Bowl. That is a mouthful and a half. 8-5 Northwestern taking on a 17-9-4 Utah. This is kind of what I want to see. Both these teams definitely deserve to be there. Northwestern is a very solid team. I've seen them play a couple times. They're pretty nice. Both teams' last games were losses. The Utes lost to number 11 Washington 10-3. Northwestern lost to Ohio State in the Big Ten championship game 45-24. But I'm picking Northwestern. Even though the Utes are favored by 7, ESPN has them like an 80% win chance. Give me the upset. Upset alert! Northwestern. Final bowl game of the night. You have the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl. 9-3 NC State taking on number 19 ranked Texas A&M, 8-4 on the season. The Aggies are they're favored by 7 points. Looking at the last 5, Aggies came on late in the year. They beat an Ole Miss team, beat a UAB team, and beat LSU, number 7 LSU, in a 7 overtime thriller. If you guys did not watch that game, YouTube it, do something, ESPN Classic, the SEC Network, I don't care. Find that game, watch it. It was exciting. NC State Wolfpack coming off wins of Louisville, UNC, East Carolina. Not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. That's why I'm picking the Aggies, and they cover it. And I feel like they're going to win big. I'm talking like 15 to 21 points on this one. All right, guys. So that is it for the bowl game pick'ems. Like I said, I don't like this time of year. I think it's kind of a participation award at this point. When you're 6-6, you have a chance to have a losing record. It's utterly ridiculous to me. But moving over to the amateur hardwood, we have two games tonight that are with top 25 ranked teams. You have 7-5 Marshall taking on a number 4 Virginia team that is 11-0. A very stingy Virginia team. Virginia is favored by 19.5 points. I'm picking this game because I like to pick the spread. Cavaliers win outright, obviously, and I think they're going to cover the point spread. They win by at least 20 points over the Marshall Thunder and Herd. Next up, the final pick'ems of today, you have CSU Bakersfield 8-4 on the season, taking on a 12-2, number 7 ranked Gonzaga Bulldogs team. Obviously, I feel Gonzaga is going to win this game, but they're favored by 26 points. 26 points, guys. Yes, they beat Denver 101-40. Yes, they beat a UNA team by 96-51. But I just don't see them winning by 26 points tonight. I don't know. I just don't see it happening. The Roadrunners are averaging, well over 75 points a game. They have won 5 games in a row for sure. That I see here versus Idaho, LMU, CP, Princeton. I don't know what those CP or LAM is. Sorry, I should have done a little bit more research. But who doesn't matter? Because it doesn't matter because those teams don't matter. Because Gonzaga wins, but the Roadrunners cover just 4 clicks. All right, guys, so that will do it for the 2018 NFL wrap-up special we got going on here. We gave you guys some NBA picks, gave you some football picks, gave you some amateur hardwood picks as well. This is kind of what this show is geared to. I like making picks. I like betting games. I also like doing fantasy. So once the playoffs start, I'm going to get on FanDuel, and we're going to do that fantasy draft with just the playoff teams. So that could be exciting. If you guys are into that, be sure to tune in. Let's say Thursday edition, we will throw that in there. So you guys have some time to prep and do a little bit of research yourself. Just don't believe what I tell you. But even though I am right, I am Michael Buckheiser. This is Just for Clicks. We gone.